Governor Murphy, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you here on Bloomberg.
Honored to be here, Emily.
Look, there's a hurricane barreling towards the East Coast. New Jersey was severely impacted by Hurricane Sandy, $30 billion in economic losses. What lessons can you share with people who might be in Florence's path?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm heading right back to Jersey right after we speak. I think we're going to be spared a direct hit here, please God. But we'll still have some collateral weather damage, and we're preparing and trying to get ahead of that. I'm proud to say we've already sent a significant amount of people and assets to North Carolina to try to help them. As you rightfully suggested, we got clobbered in 2012 by Superstorm Sandy. As we sit here today, there are still plus or minus 1,000 families who are still not back in their home. So what have we learned? I mean, the bigger picture sense, we have to do everything we can to push back on climate change, and we are in New Jersey. Whether it's offshore wind or solar or whatever it is, joining the regional greenhouse gas initiative states, signing on to the Paris Accord. But we can't do that alone. We need other states, we need our federal government to be more enlightened. We need the whole world in that pursuit, and that's a long arc. In the shorter term, you know, you have to get out ahead of these storms. Mm-hmm. We've now had to build homes and other entities according to code and elevated. There's been a lot of dune management and mitigation at the actual point of attack. And the other point is that in a storm like this, where you would think that you'd get most of your challenges on the coast, which you do, you also, depending on the nature of the storm, get a lot of challenges inland, particularly with heavy rainfall. We've had extraordinary amounts of rain this year already. Mm-hmm. The ground is saturated. It won't take much to flood. So we got to, on all of the above. There's no one magic wand, but we've got to be sort of all hands on deck.
Do you believe Hurricane Sandy was made more powerful by climate change?
Oh, there's no question. There's no question, and the evidence has mounted since then. It's 6 years ago this fall, but look at the frequency of storms. Look at the rain bombs that people now talk about. Look at not just the frequency of hurricanes, the intensity of hurricanes. You know, the notion that we're now talking about a potential for a Category 6 designation. And I know Florence has weakened. It's still a very powerful, soaking, slow storm. There's no question in my mind that climate change has contributed to the severity.
Now, scientists warn that we will not be able to stave off climate change, even if everybody does what they said they would do in Paris. So what can New Jersey do? What more can New Jersey do?
New Jersey can't do it alone, but New Jersey, I think, will do everything we can do. So again, we've committed to a 100% clean energy economy by the year 2050. Mm-hmm. I'm announcing today, first of all, our Board of Public Utilities is considering an 1,100 megawatt solicitation on this coming Monday for offshore wind. I've asked the board to put in place in 2020 and 2022 an additional, in each of those years, 1,200 megawatts solicitation of offshore wind. That's a big deal.
When do you plan to hold an auction for the offshore wind projects?
The process will begin literally on Monday. The board, subject to the board's decision. So it's an independent board. They have to decide on their own, but this process, the clock will start a lot faster than anybody expected. This is a big deal.
And what's your plan for electrification? How do you get more electric cars on the road?
Listen, we have lagged. Listen, New Jersey should have been at the cutting edge on offshore wind, solar, community solar, everything associated with environmental justice and electric vehicles. We've lagged in all of the above. I've succeeded in an administration that just didn't prioritize any of that. And of course, we're dealing with a federal administration now, which doesn't prioritize it. So the concentration of electric vehicles in New Jersey, which is the densest state in the nation, by the way. You think if one state's going to have a significant infrastructure and reality in terms of electric vehicles, it'd be New Jersey. We don't. So it's going to be in all hands. I had some meetings on this literally yesterday. The utilities want to play a role. There are private sector players that want to play a role. I think there's space for everybody. The important point is we got to get the penetration way up from where it is now.